I've always been in this space of combining conservation with people and development. And when I finished school, my second oldest sister and I, we bought a beautiful Land Cruiser, traveled 1 year through Africa and landed in Namibia.
99 FM, your inspiration station, Sibo in the morning. And this morning, I'm very excited about today's conversation. And I am joined in studio by Dr. Juliane Zeidler. She is the country director for World Wildlife Fund Namibia. She started her career as an ecologist in Etosha National Park and later completing her PhD at the Namdeb Training and Research Center in the Namib Naukla Park, and this gave her now her second ecological foundation for her work in national programs such as programs to combat desertification and the National Biodiversity Program in Namibia. And then by the early 2000s, she established her own consultancy in Namibia, and really she's worked in Africa, and she's just focused on a wide range of technical fields, including your biodiversity, your climate change, your water, your marine conservation. But truly, although an ecologist by training, most of Juliane's career has focused on just bringing people together and just development needs and just nature conservation all together. So she's my kind of people. I mean, Mo did say I am a tree hugger. I am. I am. So she's definitely my kind of tribe. Dr. Juliane, welcome to the show.
Hi, Sibo. Good morning. I like your energy.
I love how beautiful and colorful you look this winter, because usually during winter, people are just like in their grays and in their blacks, but you showed up in your beautiful plush purple pink.
Yes,
so
that's the spirit.
I love it indeed. Juliane, tell us a little bit about yourself, your background and how you grew up, and what was that like for you?
Yeah, sure. So I'm born German. I grew up in a family with 4 girls. Wow. And we lost our father relatively early, but I had this super great mother who was so enabling and set us all up for doing our own thing in life.
So from the 4, where do you fare in the life?
Number 3.
Okay.
Snuggy number 3.
Lucky number 3. You had to fight your way through everything.
Oh, no, they were all cool.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah,
having all
good
girls.
sale.
Yeah. So when you found yourself transitioning to Namibia, what was that experience like for you?
So it was excellent. And you asked me before, where did my career start? So I have always been passionate about the environment, but when I went to school, I was also passionate about politics. So I've always been in this space of combining conservation with people and development. And when I finished school, my second oldest sister and I, we bought a beautiful Land Cruiser, traveled 1 year through Africa and landed in Namibia. So that was an interesting landing, and we came just at independence.
Wow. How long did that trek take you?
Well, we took about a year. You can do it a bit faster, but we took a year.
And some of the countries that you went through along the way?
Everything. So we started in Morocco, Algeria, crossed the Sahara, crossed West Africa. At the time, it was a bit difficult because you had warned Sierra Leone, and in Liberia, then crossed through what was Zaire, now Congo. Amazing country, difficult, and then East Africa, South Africa.
Did you come through the Zambia, Angola? Was it Angola? And
no, other side.
The other side, the Zambia.
Across Zaire into the Great Lakes region, and then down East Africa.
You saw all of the beauty of the Zambezi. You came in. Okay.
Yes. And we go back there often.
I had to trickle in a little bit of Zambezi because it's very beautiful. It's my
beautiful.
So throughout your career, what has been just some of the most significant challenges that you've really faced in terms of, ecologists and striving for sustainable development, really?
Well, I think it's always to combine people matters with environment. And in Namibia, we're really trying to invest into rural development, make rural people benefit from conservation. And I think the concept is beautiful, but the challenges are big because people have needs like education, like health and income. So it's not an easy ride. And I think another one is that sometimes we want to do big ticket development for Namibia, but to get it right, that it's environmentally sustainable, that we've got the water to support it. Not an easy call. Yeah.
So if you just give us some of the examples for people that are trying to get a better grasp, when you say that, just trying to merge something that is people-centered with environmental issues, what does that look like on the ground?
Well, look now at northwestern Namibia. It's many years of drought. People have livestock. They want to and have to make a living, but at the same time, they are exposed to living with elephant, living with lion and so forth, and it often becomes a conflict. And I think that's something we haven't got right. And rural development in Namibia generally, with the big distances, it's difficult to deliver. And while the environmental guild tries to do a little bit of income from tourism, income from living with wildlife, we also need to deliver on all these other things like building schools, making sure we've got good teachers on site, that the health access is there, and we need to combine it.
That's beautiful. And as a country director for the World Wildlife Fund for Nature in Namibia, what are some of the objectives that is on the table?
So we definitely invest into rural development.
Okay.
We want to work into what is called community-based natural resource management. WWF has been at the heart of the program, but we're also very passionate about making sure that we uplift our local NGOs. They're under pressure. It's a little bit difficult for national institutions to weather through a difficult time for funding and so forth. So that's one of our passions, and then work with the Ministry of Environment and other ministries and try to really do it together.
Listen, I'm always an advocate for always, decentralizing work and just being in the regions and really looking at how we can best support Namibians throughout the regions and not just, concentrating and focused here. What has been some of your highlights and your joy in just working in the regions and in the villages?
So in Namibia, I have to say, going to villages and seeing people being so committed to conservation is amazing. I think generally we have lots of people in Namibia like you this morning connected to the environment, and that's super valuable. And then looking abroad, we're working transfrontier. We've got a great program called the Casa Zambezi Transfrontier Conservation Area. Super exciting, working with Angola, working with Zambia, Zimbabwe, Botswana. Good stuff.
That's a huge project.
It is. We've got a huge team working on that.
Because I remember there was one where I was in Palila, and there was a team there, and they were working with the environment, with the community, looking at fisheries in particular, and I was in awe of the collaborative effort, and now I didn't know that this was an even bigger one with so many countries. How are you finding it, the collaborative effort?
Well, it's amazing, and I think from the government side, you've got a good coordination mechanism based out of Kasane, the Secretariat, and that's a great foundation to have very nimble, very good people there. And then we've got individuals in each of the countries, but it's not easy, and there are big issues like fences to stop movement of elephants because of livestock and so forth. Difficult topics to address.
Indeed. But just on a those micro level individuals in our homes, I'm curious about your perspective on the role of individuals in just creating a sustainable future. So how can I, as an ordinary person, how am I contributing to the environmental preservation and just advocating also for sustainable practices in my own way and in my own community?
Absolutely. So I think definitely conservation and sustainable development are within each of us, and seeing the passion of individuals is great, starting with instilling this passion in young people, every single one. So little education at school, so teachers have a massive responsibility to make sure our kids become passionate. Kids have the responsibility to go back home and tell the parents about, look, we need to use this water sustainably, switch off electricity, let's do solar. There's so much, and that's where the pulse is in Namibia. People who are passionate about this sort of work.
I want to just come back to you as a person, Juliane. I know you're a mom of an amazing, spirited, gorgeous young lady.
Yes.
She's a ball of everything that is good in the world, And on Parenting Tuesday, today we're actually looking at, the eldest daughter syndrome. And I know with your little munchkin, you only have one right now. But how are you raising her in a way that she is environmentally conscious and also in a way that she is, her own person and her own individual?
So I think the environmental passion sort of comes just by seeing mom and going out. So nothing I need to invest there really. And then important to be her own person, exactly that. Raise her to be independent, take her own decisions. And as you said, this little girl is so driven. She does her own thing. She's self-organized. And I support that. I let her fly, grow her wings and fly.
That's beautiful. Well, finally, any advice you are to give to any aspiring environmentalists who just want to make a meaningful impact in their own way and in this field in particular also?
Yeah, and you need to just say young people have such a hard time nowadays to find their way, get a job, but be passionate, see it through. Do what you believe in and do it in a different way. That's the best advice I can give. See it through.
Yeah. Juliana, thank you so much for coming. I don't want to let you go
Sibo.
without you having to get your flowers. Thank you for the work that you're doing in Namibia. And also for the work that you're doing as a mom.
Thank you. Great being here, Sibo.
So that was Dr. Juliane Zeidler. She is the country director for World Wildlife Fund Namibia. So look out for the work and how you can just contribute to conservation in your own right. We can play our role in our own way. So that was our Royal Hustler for this morning.